Hello dear phasmatic friends. Today we are going to factorize but using the quadratic formula. Follow me please. First of all, we have to count terms if we want to factorize. Here I have one term separated by a negative sign of another term separated by a positive sign of another term. So we have three terms. Then we remember our factorization cases. Do we have something repeating in the three terms? No, so it is not a monomial common factor. Are parentheses repeating? No, so it is not a polynomial common factor. Do we have four or more terms? No, so it is not a grouping case. Do we have a trinomial? Yes, but if you try and you try and you try, you are not going to be able to factorize this expression. Do we have two terms? No, so it is not a difference of squares or an addition or subtraction of cubes. Then we will try with synthetic division, but you are not getting anything. Finally, I see that this expression is like a quadratic expression because this exponent is twice this exponent. And here I have x, x, and a lonely term. Then I will remember our quadratic formula, but instead of writing x, I will write the letter that is here. Because if I had x squared and after that something with x and after that a number, I would choose the x. But here I have x squared. And the formula, remember, is negative b, positive negative, the square root of b squared minus 4ac, and everything divided by 2a. Then remember, the coefficient of the biggest x is a, the coefficient in the middle is b, and the coefficient of the lonely term is c. So I have negative the value of b, then negative the value of b, negative 10, positive negative the square root of b squared minus 4 times the value of a times the value of c, and everything divided by 2 times the value of a. Then negative times negative is positive, positive negative, the square root of negative 10 squared is 100, minus 4 times 1 times 1 is minus 4, 96, and everything divided by 2 times 1 is 2. And now, 96, can I simplify 96? Let's see. You can divide it by 2, that is 48, divided by 2, 24, divided by 2, 12. Divided by 2, 6, divided by 2, 3, divided by 3, 1. And here, because I have a square root, I can write 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16, and 2 times 3 is 6. It is very, very good to write that square root like that. 10, positive negative, the square root of 16 times 6. Divided by 2. Because the square root of 16, I can calculate that without a calculator. So I write 10, the positive negative, the square root of 16 is 4 times the square root of 6 that I cannot calculate without a calculator. Then I have two terms divided by one term. Remember our video, a polynomial divided by a monomial, you can divide the first by the term that is in the denominator and the second by the term that is in the denominator. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. 4 divided by 2 is 2 times the square root of 6. Then, if I have x squared that is equal to those terms, you can pass those terms to the left side of the equal sign, of the equal sign, in order to get a factorization. That is, x squared, and everything will pass us to the left side as a negative, and we take the whole expression, 5 plus 2 square root of 6, and here I have one parenthesis, another parenthesis, x squared, and we will pass everything to the left side with a negative sign, and we take the same expression but with the negative sign. That is, we take those two terms as one thing that is passing to the left side. If we consider those two terms as one thing, we should say that we have one positive expression. But if you pass to the other side of the equal sign, it is passing as a negative expression. But you take it once as positive and once as negative. Because positive, negative, that means that you are going to use it with a positive sign and with a negative sign. And here, pay attention, because you have a difference of squares. It is not conventional, but you can calculate the square root of this term, the square root of this term, and because you have a negative sign, you can write it with positive in one parenthesis and with negative in another parenthesis. Then, the final answer of this exercise will be square root of x squared is x. The square root of that is here. We copy the same in a parenthesis with positive, in a parenthesis with negative. Because when you factorize a difference of squares, you take the square root of both, in a parenthesis with positive, in another parenthesis with negative. Here, the same, a difference of squares. So, the square root of this part, the square root of this part, a positive sign and with a negative sign. And that's it. If we multiply all those factors, we will get the same polynomial. Thank you very much, dear arithmetic friends. See you next time.